What's going on, guys? It's Chris Boyd from dominatedecommerce.com, and welcome to the second video of the series. If you remember, last time we found a product on Amazon using the JungleScout extension. There are other ways that you can do it, but just to start out with, I figured it would be best to show you JungleScout. That's the one that I use the most. This episode in the training, we're going to be showing you, now that you've found a product that you think that you might be able to sell, we're going to find a supplier for that product so that you can then place your first order and then send that to Amazon and get your first sales underway. So if we jump into my computer here, I'm still in JungleScout. If you remember, we went through the product database through the entire, we put in the criteria, and then we went through and started to make the, to sort of go through our criteria and really just pinpoint on things that might sell well. Now, if you remember, we pinned all of the products. So if we go back into the product tracker now that it's been sort of more than 24 hours, it has populated. So you can see here, like we ended up saying we didn't want to go with the coffee grinder, potentially not even the slushy cup either, but you can see here the average price, the average daily rank, and then the number of daily units sold. And then that then gives you your daily revenue, and then from that, obviously you can calculate your monthly revenue quite easily. So we ended up deciding on this Care and Wear Ultra Soft antimicrobial long pick line cover, which is a drip cover. I had a bit of more of a look into it, and it's actually for they actually thread threaded the catheter all the way to your heart. So it's and then this is just the cover for the top of it. So if we look at this number here, $280 a day. So what do we got? 280, and then multiply that by sort of 30 days a month. So that's 8,400 a month in monthly revenue if we're sort of selling this number per day. So this, to refresh your memory, this was the pick cover here. So I'm going to show you how to find this product. So you're going to go to Alibaba.com. There's other places that you can find this, but Alibaba is basically like the eBay and the Amazon for any supplier and wholesale. So we have a look here for the keywords. So what do we got? We got, if I just click on this one here, we've got a long pick line cover. So if I copy, I'm looking for so put it in the top here, you want a long pick line cover. When, that is not what we're after. Once you search for the thing, you want trade assurance and verified supplier. Those are just internal Alibaba. They have this sort of internal process where they sort of do the hard work and find the good suppliers for you, so that you to reduce your risk of getting scammed and those sorts of things. So put both of those in first. So if we start to scroll, some of it looks like it's going to be a hit, but most of it looks like it's missing the mark of what we're after. So if we just take away and just call it pick line cover, and then filter again. So this looks obviously a bit more like it. Obviously that's a plastic cover protector. What do we got here? This is another, sort of looks like it could be plastic as well. That's a fabric one without the window. So you can see that these are more like the pick line cover that we were looking for. It's just a slight variation of that. So and again, when you're looking for a product, you shouldn't expect to find it straight away on the on Alibaba. It's like with the product research, you should fully expect that you need to sit down for a day or two, and just literally just search from page to page to page until you've found the ones that you want, right? So okay, so these are all just plastic ones. If we go fabric, pick line, cover. And usually the harder the suppliers are to find, the better the profitability, because it means that other people are going to give up earlier, but not us. We persist. So I'm going to go back. This is actually going to be quite difficult to find, I think. So what we're going to do, I might just open a few of these anyways, because when we search for, if we go to just Amazon.com, and if we just search for pick line cover, because we might not even necessarily need a fabric one, it could just be the fact that if we can find, see, even these ones here, like these pick line covers here, what do we got? So these guys are selling. I would still consider going after something like this, because this is a fairly generic listing. Like, in fact, it looks like they've just taken the something like this. So this is the Alibaba listing, and this is the Amazon listing. So you can see that they've literally just taken the product images straight off Alibaba here, and just put them basically straight onto their listing. Like, if we look at this one here and compare it to this one here, so it's the same listing, see? And then if you look at if we have a look, oh no. So if you have a look here, so the cost of goods, if we say that's probably going to be like $4.50, something like that, if we pick a mid-range. So these are just a light suggestion for how much the cost is going to be when you click on these items. So $4.30, it's probably going to cost, it looks like it's going to be pretty light. If we scroll, so the size 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters, that's tiny, and it'll be really light, because so you'll be able to pack a lot of these into a box. So what it's probably going to be, your shipping cost will probably be about $1 per unit to get it from China to the US. And if these guys are selling them for what, $19.99, but normally $27.99. So even if we put in sale price is going to be $19.99, and then a little trick here, if you AMZ Scout has a profit calculator. So if it's what did we say it was? So $4.50 for the product cost. Shipping costs will be probably $1, something like that. And then the FBA fee is going to be, it calculates it for you based off the existing listing here. So it's going to cost $6.50 for Amazon to ship it for you once it's in the US, and it's going to cost you about $5.50 to actually get it from China to the US per unit this is. And if they're selling them for $20 per unit, you're making about $8 per unit. So these guys, with the number that they're selling per month, they're selling about 500 units per month, which we would expect to sell the same thing, which means that for this particular item, you're making about $3,000 a month profit. That's US dollars. So if you're in Australia like me, that's about $4,500 a month, which is a good salary off one item. So you can see how this pretty easily can scale to a multi-million-dollar business. So what I would do. All right, so now that we know that the item is going to be profitable, you're going to make about $3,000 a month for this one, which is awesome. Then you're going to click on this contact supplier here, and you're just going to say, hi there, I was just after some more information on your soft pick my cover protector, please. So what you want to do is per month, so we said it was selling about 500 units, so you probably want to get probably 1,500 units first up, but you want to know what the minimum order quantities are for each of them. So you're just gonna say like from 0 to maybe 200. Then you'll go from 200 to 500, 500 to 1,000 PCs, and then 1,000 to 1,500. So what we're asking for is just a unit price for each of the minimum order quantities. So the more that you order, the cheaper that it's going to get. It's just classic economy of scale. So, and then also you want to know, can you please also tell me the average production time if I were to order 1,500 units. And then you want to say, so you want to know how long it's going to take to produce if we were going to order the 1,500 units. So as I said before, if you're selling 500 per month, you want about 3 times that amount, just to give you amount of time to launch and then to ship in your next lot afterwards. So, and then what you want to say, kind of regards first point, and then you want to make it sound like you're a large company. So they want to deal with someone large, not someone. So you want to be Chris Boyd, procurement manager, and then maybe if we just say what company. We haven't even thought about company names yet, but so if we just say we're the procurement manager for USA Medical Technologies LLC, something like that, then we'll flick that through, and then literally all you're just going to do is go back through on Alibaba and just scroll and just get a lot of reach out to 5 to 10 and just sort of send the exact same thing and ask them, and then they're eventually going to come back to you and they'll have different unit prices, and then once you've done that, you can begin to have sort of an apples for apples comparison between the two. Alternatively, what you can also do, and it doesn't always work, but if we have, so if we go back into this, so here we go here, Care Plus Wear. So they actually don't have very good reviews, which makes me think that I wouldn't want to necessarily find their supplier anyway. Try for this one here. Alright, so here's something else that you can also do to find suppliers with using the JungleScout application. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So if we go back into the original guys, so we had care plus where. So then what I'm going to do is in JungleScout, I've got this under suppliers, there's something called supplier database. So if I search for see here, it says source your product, find the perfect supplier to bring your product ideas to life. So if we go into, you can do it through company, but the best way to do it is to go through the company, because you wanna try and find the suppliers of your competitors, because hopefully they're good quality and it can save you a lot of time. So if you go care plus where, so if nothing comes up, it will give a suggestion. JungleScout will give a suggestion, which I recommend that you check beforehand. So it says, it looks like it's a brand likely owned by Care and Wear 2 Inc. So what you want to do then next is you want to just, under Google, search Care plus Wear trademark. So, and then you want to scroll down until you find trademarks.justia.com. So Justia is the best way to find the trademarks. And then what you want to do is, so it looks, look, careware. No, so this is careware. We want care plus wear. So if we go care, so trademarks.justia doesn't have it. The other thing that you can look under is USPTO. They also have it, so you can see here care plus wear. I already opened it before this just to so I didn't sort of waste too much time searching the internet while I was recording. But if you just go into this one, so care and wear 2, so you can see here that's the trademark at the top. So what companies do is they trademark their title, like Nike, that sort of thing, so that people then can't steal it and sell rip-off brands. That's the best way to protect themselves. So so this is a registered trademark, and this is USPTO. That's the US governing agency for trademarks. You can see here care plus wear, so it is definitely the one. And then if we scroll down, it should have trademark ownership. So ownership is Care and Wear 2 Inc. So it looks like the JungleScout app got it pretty much right, Care and Wear 2 Inc. So if we click that and then use that to update it, so still looks like, I don't think we're going to find it through this one, so we might just have to end up just finding it on our own. Sometimes it works, and you can literally find suppliers for your competitors. I've done it so many times now, and that can save a lot of time. The other thing that you can do is you can go into the thing here and go into, if you type in pick line cover, so these guys have done Healthline International, they've done 44 shipments, and it looks like they're selling pick line covers as well. So you can actually go into their shipment history through here, and you can see that they've been sort of consistently shipping for the entire time. And if we look here, so IV admin set, CVC kits, so these guys are in fact shipping large quantities of medical gear from China to the US and selling them. So if I wanted to find who they're so if I wanted to, so these guys are actually from China. So if I wanted to find these guys, I would go search for contact info, and then you can actually find them through here as well. So they won't necessarily be on Alibaba, but you can actually just reach out directly to the company as well. That's another way that you can find them, and I've found a couple of companies doing it this way as well. And then, yeah, I mean, you can see here, if you just keep scrolling, there's a lot of different companies. You just need to search through the shipping and just make sure that they actually are selling sort of medical goods in this case. But you could do it for literally anything that you're trying to sell at all. So I mean, that's really the process. And then once you've got that down pat, then what I would do is I would just create like a spreadsheet to start out with, and just have like the supplier name at the top, and then just the quantities that you asked for. So we said like 0 to 200. I'm not gonna sort of do it all again, but you would just have like supplier 1, supplier 2, and supplier 3. So ideally you'll have like 5 to 10 suppliers along here, and then you'll just, so that these guys might be $4.20, these guys might be like $4.50, and these guys might be like $6, something like that. And then what you want to, you want to have them sort of side by side. You might want to put like a picture next to one another, and then you want to then sort of just have some comments. So you want to know their like manufacturing time. You also want to know if the quality is any different. You want to know if they, and then down here you want to have your manufacturing time, quality, and aesthetic. So for the manufacturing time, you need to know that usually it's between like 25 to 30 days, like a month. And then so you'll need to know that because by the time that you factor in the shipping and all the rest of it, once you do have stock, you'll need to know when you need to make your next order. And then the quality, so like you want to be selling something that's better quality. So supplier 1 might have you know, a material that's 2 millimeters thicker than supplier 2 and supplier 3, and it might be a little bit more expensive but probably justifiable, sort of thing. And then the aesthetic, you know, you might get different colors or different textures or those sorts of things. So it's worthwhile noting for each of these what you what oh my god. And then down here, so what you want to have is you want to have like the you know, the manufacturing time, the quality, and the aesthetics, just where you sort of add the comments to each one of them. So price is important, but then equally important is, you know, manufacturing time. So you want to know how long it's going to take them to from start to end when they're going to finish your next order. So you need to know that, because once you're in stock, you need to allow for maybe 30 to 45 days of shipping and 30 days of manufacturing as well. So 2 to 3 months, which is why I said the 3 months of the initial monthly sales. But in some cases, the manufacturing time will be longer from supplier to supplier. And then also like the quality. So supplier 1 might have a material that's like, you know, 2 millimeters thicker than supplier 2 and 3, and it might be, you know, 50 cents more expensive, but it's probably justifiable because over the long term, people are going to like it a lot more. There's going to be, you know, less holes in the material, those sorts of things. So you'll get a better rating, and therefore better sales over the long term. And then the aesthetic, you know, that's just for like things like different colors, different textures, those sorts of things that you still need to note, just so that you really have like an apples for apples comparison. And yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to it. You know, like I said before, I use JungleScout because I find it the most simple to use. And you know, you can just use Alibaba. I like to open up as many avenues that I can to get the best listing possible, and I use this supplier database to do that, because in quite a few cases I have been able to find my competitors' suppliers, and then it's just a case of using the same suppliers and then just adding a little bit extra to your listing, and then all of a sudden you're the #1 seller for that product. So I mean, in a nutshell, that's really it. So in this lesson, hopefully you would have picked something up from how to search on Alibaba, what to look out for, how you reach out to the suppliers, the sort of information that you're going to need from them, and then also the use of JungleScout for the supplier database and all the rest of it. So as I said before, you don't have to, but the affiliate link is below. So I get a little bit of, I get some coffee money basically when you sign up for it. You get a 30% discount, and yeah, and then you'll be able to find your supplier for the product that you've picked, hopefully in module 1. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up this lesson. The next lesson, I'm going to have keep an eye out in your emails. It's going to be from chris@dominatedecommerce.com, and it'll have video 3 in the description. So with that said, good luck with your supplier finder, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.